Welcome back, and in this video we are going to continue with bones of the skull, and what we're going to look at specifically, we are going to start looking at the floor of the skull, realizing that some of these bones can be seen either from the lateral view or the anterior view, but most of our time is going to be spent looking at the floor of the skull. So the first bone we want to talk about is called the sphenoid bone, and if you look at the sphenoid bone, what you can notice, it kind of looks like either a butterfly with two sets of wings. Some people say from a superior view, it kind of looks like a bat, except that bats only have one wing on each side. So I kind of like going with that butterfly term better. And if we take this sphenoid bone, we'll take this upper one, superior view, and we put it into the floor of the skull, what you need to notice is that this upper set of wings here, these smaller wings, they're actually part of the anterior cranial fossa, whereas these larger, more posterior wings, they are actually located in the middle cranial fossa. So it kind of goes this whole area between my fingers. This is all the sphenoid bone. And then the other pictures are also showing you that you do see a little bit of the sphenoid bone right here, just anterior to the temporal bone. And you also can see lots of sphenoid bone when you look into the eye socket area, as well as right here on the undersurface of the skull. So it's clearly visible from all directions. So make sure you're comfortable with all the views and not just the floor of the skull view. So the first bony landmark in the sphenoid bone is I want you to go to the middle cranial fossa where there is this depression there. From a mid-sagittal view, you can see that it's this U-shaped thing, which actually has the same structure as a Turkish saddle, not an American saddle, not an English saddle, but a Turkish saddle. And so obviously the anatomist knew that at the time. Well, okay, so there wasn't an American saddle at the time, but they knew that a Turkish saddle was different than an English saddle, and so they actually named it the Turkish saddle, which is the sella turcica. Okay. And so this right there is going to be an important structure because part of your central nervous system is going to be sitting in this sella turcica. So the sella turcica is in the most anterior part of the middle cranial fossa in the mid-sagittal line. Now, those smaller wings, the parts that were in the anterior cranial fossa, and notice not this midline part, but just the wing parts themselves, those are called the lesser wings of the sphenoid bone. Whereas those bigger wings are called the greater wings of the sphenoid bone, and they are in the middle cranial fossa. Okay, that's it for sphenoid. And now what we want to do, knowing that the sphenoid bone goes across here, we want to go anterior to the sphenoid bone, and on the floor of the skull, stay in the mid-sagittal line. And in the mid-sagittal line, what you would see is there is something that sticks up right in the middle, and then there's an oval depression on each side, which looks like it has a whole bunch of little holes, because it does. Okay. That's the only visible part of this bone, the ethmoid bone, on the floor of the skull. However, here are the views showing you what this bone really looks like. So if you look at this posterior view, the only part that you are seeing looking at the floor of the skull is this part right here. So there's the upward projection, and then you're just seeing this part, and that's it. Everything else is hidden back into there. And so yes, we are going to see part of it going up the nasal cavity, and there are little bits of it inside the eye socket area. Okay. So the first part, or the first bony landmark, the ethmoid bone we want to discuss is this upward projection, which is exactly in the mid-sagittal plane. Okay. And this upward projection as you can see from the mid-sagittal view on the right, is triangular. So it kind of looks like a shark fin or the sail of a ship. Okay, so here in Southern California, everybody goes, oh yeah, it looks like a shark's fin. Okay, but I guess back when anatomists were doing this, there weren't that many sharks in the Mediterranean because they thought it looked like a ship's sail. And so they gave it a very nautical sounding term, not naughty, but nautical, the crista galli. Now, doesn't that sound like a ship's name? The Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria, and the crista galli? Okay. So that hopefully that will help you remember. And that's exactly in the mid-sagittal plane. Then we're going to go to the oval depressions, which are both to the right and the left of the crista galli. And this entire area is called the cribriform plate. So it's not two cribriform plates, it's just one cribriform plate. Okay? And so the cribriform plate is a shallow depression with a whole bunch of little holes, which we'll learn about later in the semester. Now, the next landmark is not visible from this view. However, it is visible if you look at the nasal cavity. And if you look at the nasal cavity, I think you can see a bone on the left side. Okay, so not the entire thing is ethmoid bone, only the upper part. So if you look at the middle picture, do you see the green part which is coming down from above? That part is ethmoid bone, and it's called the perpendicular plate of the ethmoid bone because when you're looking at the floor of the